If these walls could talk, they tell you that love don't live here anymore. They tell tales of her betrayal. She always thought that love would prevail, like the original intentions of these walls would always provide security. They say she's unhappy, but she's got too much pride to leave these walls without proper alimony, something to make mommy happy, so it didn't look like she wasted her time. If these walls could talk, they tell you that love don't live here anymore. Each brick would speak of all the things she could have learned. Instead, they taught her a logical fallacy that there were a few set ideologies that they could teach that would earn her degrees, and they won't mean much to her, but they'll send this message to society. But she just wants to stroke her notebooks, press pen to paper, and remember she was born twice when her stroking began as a poet on a page. Immaculate conception, these visions form erections at the seams. Penetration is deep, it's called poetry. It's like sex on a page. These words gave birth to dreams without seams. Anything is possible is what these words can make her believe. Anything was possible between these walls is what she wanted to believe. But between these walls, she became another domestic victim of mental abuse. She was beaten with mediocrity until she was drained. She was trained to absorb tofu samples of knowledge and regurgitate them onto scantrons. It's like a tampon in her flow of knowledge. So these little girls, she expected to learn shit in college, but she's got shit to show for it. These walls could speak, they let it be known that she was sold dreams money could buy. It's the most expensive piece of paper she'll ever own. She'll be leaving with two in hand for her big ball and an overachiever. But really, she just had a point to prove. Because they can promise her degrees, and she can promise to repay these loans, so that pretty piece of paper they call her degree can't promise a paycheck. Someone please check her before she goes into default. As these interest rates tax her sanity, they take toll on her soul. If these walls could talk, they tell you it's 4:30 a.m. finals weekend. She can't force herself to open a notebook or a math book. Responsibilities and due dates, deadlines and interviews line up to hang rope over her head, but there are words in her head. She just wants to press pen to paper and pierce the reality perceived by the human psyche with a 1.4 millimeter gauge needle filled with liquid nitro creativity, poetic acid that seeps through the page in the form of a ballpoint pen. Mama always said, just don't become a poet. But FCAT labels her as disabled, Mark L for gifted, so she's wondering if she can claim disability and continue to write poetry, say she did it for her health, because if these walls could talk, they gasp for life and say she's dying. For something other than monotony and routine, so she lives in her head. She writes these words on paper to prove that she's alive. She's just a nerd with an artistic side, so every now and then it should be okay to let her head lay in the clouds and pierce her pages with poetry.